पांड्या थोड़ा जल्दी से पढ़ेंगे बिकॉज पांड्या में ऐसा क्वेश्चन कुछ बनता है नहीं, दिस इज मोर लाइक बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन, ठीक है। तो यहाँ से थोड़ा जल्दी से पढ़ेंगे। एंड दे आर द वन हु आर हैविंग द मैक्सिमम लिंकेजेस विद श्रीलंका, क्योंकि श्रीलंका गए भी थे, छोड़ छाड़ के भाग गए, ठीक है। तो श्रीलंका के साथ सबसे ज्यादा अच्छा रिलेशन किसका है? पांड्यास का, बिकॉज दे आर इन द डीप साउथ ऑल्सो। इफ यू सी मदुराई, कोरकई, तो सबसे डीप साउथ में कौन सा एरिया किसके अंडर है? पांड्यास का। एनीवे, so they were also having the title just like the Cholas, and same title tha, it was that of Movendra. Okay, they are mentioned in the description of Ashoka also. Initially it was a town known as Korkai. Korkai was their capital, and later on they shifted to Madurai. As all of us know, Madurai is the famous place for the composition of which literature? Sangam literature. 3 Sangams are there. First Sangam happens at Madurai, second at a place known as Kapatapuram, and finally the third Sangam, it also happened at the place of Madurai. Maximum text of the Sangam which have preserved till today, they belong to which Sangam? Third Sangam, and the role was played by the initial Pandyas. Same situation like that of Cholas. We do not know exactly if these Pandyas, okay, they were having a specific relationship with the Pandyas of Sangam age. So what sources do we have about them? So we have this history of Pandya Sangam period. We get some information from the megalithic burials, inscriptions in Tamil Brahmi, as well as the poems of Sangam literature. Some copper plates are also there, which comes later on. Okay, we have rock inscriptions also, and we have certain literary works. So these information provide us about the initial Pandya rulers. But when we shift later on, this territory of Pandya, it is known as Pandya Mandalam. Just like for Chola, it was Chola Mandalam. Mandalam इनका कौन सा है? Pandya Mandalam. ठीक है, इसको easy है, हम याद रख सकते हैं. Now the revival of the Pandya, okay, it starts from which century? 7th century. 7th century से revival शुरू होता है थोड़ा सा इनका. And we have like people like Kandukon who recovered Pandyan territory from the Kalabharas. We have just discussed Kalabharas. They were the tribal people who were having control in South India, and this was done by whom? Kandukon. So he is the somebody who fought against them, according to some of the copper plate, and he succeeded, okay, by 2 other people. Then Senan possessed warlike qualities, and his title Vanavan is suggestive of his conquest of Chera. So many people has played part in the revival of Pandyas. These are not even the magnificent king. These are the initial ones who fought against the various personalities like Kalabharas. The next one is Arikeshari Maravarman, and he is having an illustrious career, and according to specific inscription, he was a contemporary of Mahindra Varman. Mahindra Varman was the first powerful king of Pallavas. Okay, तो उनके contemporary थे ये. And Narasimha Varman also, and he is identified with Kun Pandya as the persecutor of Jain. So he was not favorably disposed towards the Jainism. Then his 2 successors includes Kochadhyan, Ranadhira, as well as Jatil Parantaka, as well Nedujan. But all of these are not that much important. The names which you have to remember from exam point of view, that will come later on. Alright. So here the most important one which you have to remember, अच्छा नाम है इनका, ठीक है, Sadhana Varman Sundara Pandya, ना Sundar, beautiful Pandya. So this is the name which you have to remember. He is the one who played a very important role. This is the second Pandya kingdom which was created by him, and his name is Sadhya Varman. Sadhya Varman Sundara Pandyam. Sundara Pandya. We do not know how he looked like, but eventually whatever it is, this is the keyword, है ना, खुद ही लिख दिया, handsome dash अपना नाम आगे डाल दो, Sundara Pandyan. This is what you have to remember, and his time period is from 1250 to 1268, roughly the time period where we see the downfall of Cholas. Just what we have discussed so far. Okay, so what steps were taken by him? So let us see. He not only brought the entire Tamil Nadu under his control, but also exercised his authority all the way up to Andhra Pradesh. And during his reign, it reached its zenith, keeping the Hoysalas. Hoysalas was controlling over the area of Karnataka, the areas like Dwar Samudra, the areas like Balur. All of them, they were controlled by the Hoysalas. He conquered Chera ruler, the chief of Malnadu. Decline of Chola state also emboldened him, and he was able to defeat them also. He also plundered the territory in and around, and that's how he was able to create a specific kingdom. So whenever somebody talks about the later Pandya, the first name which you have to remember, it is Sadhya Varman Sundra Pandya. This is the first person which you have to remember. Then the second person who is responsible for taking it to further heights, okay, वो भी आपको याद रखना. That, like, according to a record of Veer Pandyan, he states that he also took Ceylon, he also took Cholamandalam. तो इनको इन्होंने कंट्रोल कर लिया था. After that, we see the coming of Kulashekara. Kulashekara is very, very important. Okay, so here we have again Maravarman Kulashekara. Kulashekara, अगर आप if you see cricket, तो बहुत टाइटल यूज करते हैं इन श्रीलंका, कुलशेखरा. Okay, so that same is here also, Maravarman Kulashekara. The Sundravarman और the Sundra Pandyan and Kulashekara, ये दो नेम आप याद करोगे पांड्यास के लिए. After Sundra Pandyan, he ruled successfully for roughly 40 years. 40 years के लिए उन्होंने रूल किया. From 1268 to around 1312, he had two sons, and in 1302 the accession of his elder son. ये स्टोरी है एक्चुअली कि क्या प्रॉब्लम आई, व्हाट वाज द प्रॉब्लम. ओके, व्हाई डिड अलाउद्दीन खिलजी केम टू साउथ इंडिया, इसके पीछे की स्टोरी ये है. सो मरावर्मन कुलशेखरा, ही रूल्ड सक्सेसफुली, एंड ड्यूरिंग द लेटर टाइम, अब इनको चूज करना था. ही वाज हैविंग टू सन्स, किसको राजगद्दी में बिठाएं अपने साथ में. ओके, सो व्हाट ही डिड, हिज एल्डर सन जतवर्मन सुंदर पांड्यन III वाज एक्सेप्टेड एज अ को-रेजेंट. को-रेजेंट मींस साथ में उनके रूल करोगे. So as a result of this appointment, okay, provoked the other son and his other son Veer Pandya. Okay, Veer Pandya was now not happy with this appointment. So what he did, he killed his father itself first. तो पहले किसको kill किया, father को. The father was eliminated. कि regent vision बाद में देखा जाएगा. First let us finish it off. Then he had a civil war in which eventually he won. As a result of this Sundra Pandya, this went to Delhi कि भाई बहुत हीरे जवाहरात है हमारे पास, आप मुझे रीइंस्टेट कर दो एंड वापस चलते हैं. So this Sundra Pandya, who became a king along with his father, lost his kingdom, ran away to Delhi, and then he took refuge under whom? Alauddin Khilji. अब खिलजी को तो मौका चाहिए था, and Khilji eventually, this turn of event provided an opportunity for the invasion of Malik Kafur. So I hope it is easy. Kulashekara, he was having two sons. The first son was Sundra Pandya, the Sundra Pandya III. He along with Veer Pandya. So Veer Pandya was able to kill his father. He was able to defeat his brother. And Sundra Pandya III ran away to Alauddin Khilji. Alauddin Khilji was just ready कि बताओ कहाँ से क्या पैसा है, कहाँ रखा है, लोकेशन मार्क कर दो मैप पे, है ना. We are going to send our able men, and that able personality was Malik Kafur. तो ये याद रखना आप, interconnections of history. This is what we need to. That's why हम थोड़ी सी information हमें होनी चाहिए कि स्टोरी क्या थी. So this was an internal crisis of the Pandyan kingdom which provided an opportunity to Alauddin Khilji. Okay, because उनका खुद ही आके बोल रहा है कि जाओ इन्वेड करो, I will help you out. So this is how the invasion happened of Madurai. And after this invasion, things became haywire, and they could not create any kind of stabilized kingdom after that. बहुत बड़ा stabilized kingdom नहीं कर पाए. So Malik Kafur arrived 1311, found the city empty, and Veer Pandya has already fled. है ना, वीर ने वीरता छोड़ दी, and he ran away. And in Amir Khusro's estimate, 512 elephants, 5,000 horse, 500 mounts of jewels, etc. They were said to be taken by Malik Kafur. Even the Madurai temple is very famous. Okay, so it was desecrated, and an enormous amount of wealth was looted from here. And after his invasion, the Pandyan kingdom came to a divided among number of main rulers of Pandya family. जो strength provide किया था by the Sundra Pandya and the Kulashekara, that was no longer there itself. So इसके बाद में ये divide होके रह गया. Alright, and in Madurai a Muslim state was established, and that happened in 1335, which we were discussing yesterday. Madurai came under the control of Delhi Sultanate, and the direct rule was established by whom? Muhammad bin Tughlaq. But the first state to go outside this, it was Madurai Sultanate in 1335, when the governor, and his name is Jalaluddin Ashanshaha. Please remember his name. All of us are aware about Vijayanagar किसने establish किया, है ना, Harihara and Bukka. All of us are aware about Bhaman, okay, or the Bhamanis. So we know कि भाई it was established by Hasan Gangu, but the Madurai Sultanate, it was established by Jalaluddin Ashanshaha, and he declared himself independent. Okay, so the whole story, it starts from here, and eventually when the Vijayanagar Empire is going to expand, then it will consume the whole area of Pandyas also along with itself. तो छोटी सी हिस्ट्री के एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्रिएट करो, एंड दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. इफ वी सी them as a state, just like we have Chola as a state, so their capital was Madurai. Okay, the title which was taken by him, like Pandya, Maharasan, these kinds of titles were taken. And if we see in Tamil, they used to take title like Vanavan. Various kind of titles were taken by them. If we see royal officials, okay, so the prime minister, it was known as Uttara Mantri. What is the title? Uttara Mantri. This was a title. Royal Secretariat, it was known as Eluttu Mandapam. Eluttu Mandapam was the name of the secretariat. Titles of military commander include Palli Velan. Palli word बहुत यूज होता है साउथ इंडिया में, ठीक है. तो Palli is a word which is having what kind of title? Military. Then if we see the political division, so just like Cholas also, the kingdom was divided into various Vala Nadu. Means when we consolidate some Nadus, उनके top पे हम क्या बोलते हैं? Vala Nadu, a bigger Nadu, which in turn was divided into various Nadu as well as Kurams, depending upon the historicity of that area, depending upon the कितना उनका political structure था. The authorities which used to control the Nadus, they were known as Natars. A unique political division can be seen in the area of Pandi Mandalam, and the area depending upon the irrigation, उनका एक specific division होता था. Those which are having irrigation, जहाँ पे water की ज़्यादा resources होते थे, वहाँ पे ये लोग ज़्यादा ध्यान देते थे, okay, and ज़्यादा autonomy भी वहाँ मिलती थी. The land assigned to ironsmith were known as Tatrakani within these settlements. Anyway, Pandyan जो political system है, it is not that much important from exam point of view. Trade में they had very close relationship with the Arabs because they were controlling both the west as well as the eastern part. Traders were referred to as Nikamatar, and horses, as all of us understand, horses were very important for what purpose? For the fighting purpose, for the strength of the army. So that's why a lot of trade focused on horses itself, and the Arabs were responsible for that because Arabs were having the finest of the horses. Okay, just like Cholas, they also had the trade guilds, which includes in areas like Kodimpalur. Goods traded includes spices, pearls, specific stones. Marco Polo came to that area, as well as another traveler, Vasaf State, which talks about the kind of trade which was linked with the Pandyans. Gold coins, they were in circulation in that area, and gold coins were utilized for the purpose of exchange between the trading parties. Similarly, irrigation again was very important for them also. As I've told you, scarcity of water could affect the finances of the state directly because the maximum revenue, it came from land revenue. Land revenue is directly into agriculture. This is sluice, okay, a device to distribute water from the resources like river, tank, and this is how it looks like. So irrigation was something over which they put a lot of emphasis. So कभी भी question आ सकता है UPSC में thematic, why so much of focus on irrigation and what kind of steps were taken. So we have to write a lot of examples about that. If we talk about literacy, so yes, they also promoted literacy like that of Cholas itself. They promoted even Sanskrit tradition, okay, and many of the important texts which were composed in Tamil language. It includes Tirupavai, it includes Tiruvempavai as well as Tiruvasagam. So different kinds of Tamil text, they were written during this time, which shows that they were also having a little bit of attachments to learning. Learning is something which is terminus with progress in life, and that is something that they believed in. Initially they were follower of Jainism, and later on they also became follower of Shaivism. And this is what we need to understand. They built various kinds of temples, which includes rock cut temples. In fact, different set of architecture can be linked to them. Okay, इनका आर्किटेक्चर फिर भी आ सकता है. Like if we see, they built rock cut temples like this we found at Anaimalai. Rock cut मतलब rock के अंदर ही उन्होंने एक structure create किया, and there we can have the worship. Jain sculptures can be found from Kalgumulai. Okay, plus they have famous Jain caves. In fact, this has been asked in UPSC many times, and they are known as Sitanavasal. Sitanavasal, it's one of the most famous Jain caves in South India, and they are directly linked with the Pandya kingdom. अगर इनके आर्किटेक्चर की कुछ 4-5 इंपॉर्टेंट चीजों की बात करें, दे आर नोन फॉर मोनोलिथिक मेगा साइज्ड ornamented pillars, they are known for rock cut cave temples, they are known for fresco paintings or the wall paintings, and they are also known as for various kinds of themes, like even we find paintings of water pool. Why? Which shows the importance of water. Okay, the importance of water and its overall safeguard for the agriculture. So this is what we need to remember about Pandyas as such. Pandyas के ऊपर इसलिए बहुत ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन आते नहीं है, ठीक है. अर्ली जो इनका फेज है that belongs to the Sangam age. In between we see the revival from the 7th century onwards, but the most important part in the revival of the Pandyas that was taken by two rulers. One was the Sundra Pandya and the second one was the Kulashekara. These two are the most important personalities, and the death of Kulashekara leads to a crisis state in which one of his we can say the younger son Veer Pandya was able to become victorious, but this could not be accepted by his elder brother. He ran away to Delhi, and from there we see a invasion, and after the invasion they could not establish a very powerful kingdom again, and they got divided into various family, and this area was finally subsumed by whom? Vijayanagar.
Hi, a very good evening to all of you. I'm Vikas Elawat. I'm a former civil servant. I was able to crack UPSC twice. In fact, in 2018, I was able to get highest marks in history optional, and they were around 324. So this year, I'm coming up with a series which I am calling Self-Study History Optional. इस series में 100 से ज़्यादा वीडियो होने वाले हैं, which are going to cover the different nuances of ancient, medieval, modern as well as world history. So those of you who are preparing for 2025, register करिए and try to get the maximum out of this specific initiative of ours. So at Prep Career IAS, we are producing results from last many years. 2023 में बहुत सारे टॉपर्स हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट से थे. 2022, 21 हर साल बहुत अच्छे टॉपर्स यहाँ से निकले हैं, and they have been able to get very good marks in history optional. So those of you who are thinking कि यार start करके कितना कर पाएंगे कितना नहीं कर पाएंगे, we already have achievements with us. I was able to achieve, my students are achieving, and you can be the next. इन सेशंस में क्या होने वाला है? नंबर 1, विल बी फोकसिंग ऑन फाउंडेशन ऑफ बेसिक कंसेप्ट्स, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम व्हाट इज हिस्ट्री, व्हाट इज हिस्टोरिकल पीरियड, व्हाट इज प्रोटो हिस्ट्री, व्हाट इज प्री हिस्ट्री, बेसिक लेवल. ओके. सेकंड, अलाइनमेंट विद यूपीएससी सिलेबस. जितना भी हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल का सिलेबस है वो 51 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड है. सो वी आर गोइंग टू अलाइन ईच एंड एवरी कंसेप्ट विद द सिलेबस इटसेल्फ. नंबर 3, वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन आंसर राइटिंग. ऑल ऑफ यू नो कि जो मेंस है वो ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं होता है, वो सब्जेक्टिव लेवल पे होता है, और आप सब लोगों को आंसर राइटिंग सीखना शुरू करना पड़ेगा, है ना. वी डू नॉट हैव टू मच ऑफ टाइम, तो स्टार्टिंग से ही आंसर राइटिंग शुरू करेंगे. एंड नंबर 4, द ओवरऑल पैकेज इज़ वेरी हॉलिस्टिक इन नेचर. तो अगर आप इसको अच्छे से कर लेते हैं तो जो बेसिक लेवल फाउंडेशन हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल की वो कंप्लीट हो जाएगी. यू आर गोइंग टू गेट मैनी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स अलॉन्ग विद दिस. ओके. 100+ सेशन है, चारों पार्ट कवर होंगे. थीम वाइज सेग्रीगेटेड डायग्राम, फ्लो चार्ट, जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट एनसीईआरटी हैं. देखो, अगर हम सारी एनसीईआरटी को कंबाइन कर दें, एंशिएंट, मिडेवल, मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड ऑफ वेरियस बोर्ड्स ऑफ इंडिया, तो 25 से 26 एनसीईआरटी निकल के आती हैं. उन सबको हमने कोहेरेंट फॉर्म में डिज़ाइन किया है सो दैट यू कैन लर्न द बेस्ट फ्रॉम दैट. ओके. बिकॉज वो हिस्ट्री में रिसर्चेस चलती रहती हैं. अभी तमिलनाडु की जो एनसीईआरटीज़ हैं, दे आर मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इन कंपेरिजन टू द रीसेंट हिस्ट्री देन द प्रीवियस हिस्ट्री जो कि आर.एस. शर्मा वगैरह, सतीश चंद्रा या फिर बिपिन चंद्रा ने लिखी है. दैट्स वाई वी आर कवरिंग ऑल द एनसीईआरटीज, एंड दैट्स वाई 100+ सेशंस हो जा रहे हैं टोटल मिला के. देन 30+ वैल्यू एडेड आपको डॉक्यूमेंट मिलने वाले हैं. डेडिकेटेड आंसर राइटिंग सेशन मिलेंगे. जूम सेशंस भी करेंगे बाद में, ताकि आप लोगों की जितनी भी डाउट्स हों विद रिस्पेक्ट टू लर्निंग दे कुड बी सॉल्व्ड. ओवरऑल जो है आपको क्लास की पीपीटीज मिलेंगी, कंसेप्ट लिस्ट मिलेगा, PYQs, जितने भी PYQs हैं उनको अच्छे से हमने डिज़ाइन कर दिया ताकि आप सब उनको अच्छे से पढ़ सकें, माइंड मैप मिलेंगे पूरे सिलेबस के, वर्कबुक और लर्निंग असाइनमेंट्स मिलेंगे एंड सेल्फ असेसमेंट टेस्ट, सो दैट वंस यू लर्न समथिंग तो साथ में उसको एटलीस्ट इवेल्युएट भी करना चाहिए ना कि भाई हमें कुछ समझ में आया भी है नहीं आया, एटलीस्ट जितना रिक्वायर्ड है वहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं या फिर नहीं पहुँचे हैं। तो आपको करना क्या है, वॉट वी नीड टू डू दैट, सबसे पहले आप रजिस्टर कर लीजिए, ठीक है, आपको एक स्पेसिफिक गूगल शीट मिलेगा उसमें आप रजिस्टर कर लीजिए। देन एज ऑल ऑफ अस अंडरस्टैंड हर किसी के पास लिमिटेड स्लॉट्स हैं, तो आपको एक स्पेसिफिक कॉल आएगा एंड दैट इज समथिंग विच वी आर कॉलिंग एट स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस, बिकॉज अगर हमें आपको ये सारी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करनी है, द नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स विच वी कैन हेल्प दे आर ऑलवेज लिमिटेड इन नेचर। सो अकेडमिक काउंसलर इज गोइंग टू कॉल यू, दे गोइंग टू हेल्प यू और दे गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है। हो सकता है आप कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर में हो, सेकंड ईयर में, थर्ड ईयर में हो, और यू मे हैव ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर सम टाइम एंड यू आर नॉट गेटिंग द डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट, तो इसलिए हमें स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस चाहिए होगा। एंड फाइनली ऑन द basis of this you're going to get the benefit of this program.